All right. Well, if you can come into the room, put your phone on do not disturb so you're not disturbed by messages during this time. We gonna get into it. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Um, Man, what can we talk about today? It's crazy. I had something on my heart to talk about, but I always like to read the room and see who we have here and what we're dealing with. So let's open up with this question. If you went all in with your business, what would that look like? If you went all in, what would that look like? What does it look like to go all? What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to go all in when it comes to your business? What does that mean?
I'll go first. Um, if I went all in my business, then that means that I would be consistent. Like that's something that I struggle with. And if I went all in, then that means that I have reached my goal of consistency and I'd be able to reach where I want to go within my business, far as leveling up or whatever. Um, so that is my goal. I would at least be able to not have to depend on having somebody here with my mom. I would be able to full force do that without questions again. So that is where I'm trying to get back to of just being consistent so that way I can be the primary person again to take care of her.
I love that, Leah. So being consistent, and that's crazy because we'll come back to consistency because I believe you're not the only one who struggles with consistency. Actually, I know you're not the only one who struggles with consistency. We got Leah in the comments who said using my existing network daily, building a new one daily on social, start calling people on the daily. People love to hear from me. Okay, you better have that confidence. You better say that. They do love to hear from you. People do love to hear voices. And then Dad said, working my business intentionally 4 to 5 hours a day. So let's talk about well, anybody else want to go before we jump into that? What does it mean to what if you went all in? What would it look like?
For me, hello everyone. For me, if I went all in, it would be, of course, the consistency, but to work my business not just on social media, but out in public, and not living in um, the fear of rejection, and just being willing to work through the rejection, and like I said, just work my business and grow as I'm going.
I'll go. I was just gonna say for me, going all in my business looks like stopping, like I have to stop putting stuff before my business that doesn't make sense. So like if it's not making me money or it's like, not something important with my family or like my health or something, then it shouldn't be put before my business. And I feel like that's something that I struggle with. It's like putting stuff that I want to do before the things that I need to do. So like prioritizing is basically the word.
I'll go before this bell rings. Um, for me, the consistency and everything everybody else said, but also just making sure that my time spent on social media, whether it be Instagram or whatever, is not no scrolling. If I took the scrolling out of my life would change. If I took the scrolling out of my life, I need a scrollless life.
Yeah, okay. Who else? That's funny. But go. Who else? Anyone else? I'll tell you what. And Brittany can attest to this. Actually, there's probably a few people on here who could attest to this. Um, make it to where you can't go to your app at all. Live in your messenger. You have to allow yourself to live in your messenger. 9 times out of 10, scrolling on social media is not building your business. You're not like in search of looking. It's not like when I go to my feed and I'm like sending host to post messages, like I send host to post messages from my feed. If you're not doing that and it's not a scheduled time for you to scroll, then and what does it feel like to set time to scroll? Like if that doesn't feel productive, then you should do it. I know for me, I have to allow myself to be on TikTok and scroll. Like when I'm doing it, I'm committed to it. Like I'm straight up committed. Like this is what I'm doing for a few, however long I'm doing it. I'm sitting here and I'm finna scroll and watch a whole bunch of videos. Like I'm committed to it. And so if not, live in your messenger. Live in Messenger, or go on there with an intention and a task, and work with people. That works too. But that's good. That was good. Anybody else? What does it look like to go all in your business? All right, well, let's talk about consistency. I shared a few things I shared in the comments. Consistency, work business publicly, stop putting stuff before business that doesn't make sense, putting stuff I want to do before stuff I need to do, prioritizing, and time on social media is not scrolling. Um, uh, can I submit to you guys, a lot of this has to do with um, the accountability and the importance of your why. The accountability and importance of your why. And when I say that, like there are people who your why, um, you don't care about your why. And that sometimes it's hard to say. Sometimes why do I say that is because you're willing to let you down subconsciously. Subconsciously you're willing to let yourself down. And when no one else knows that you're letting yourself down, it will eat you up. It will eventually. But when no one else knows that you're letting yourself down, you're not connected to anybody else, you'll hide or quiet quit on yourself or on others and don't even realize that you're doing that. um and you can sit in the misery of it. But when you are a one band one sound person and you understand that you're a part of something so much bigger than you, that's essentially, you want a why that's bigger than you. You want a why that's bigger than you, and then you also want to be in a space that keeps your faith to a point where you are shook every time that you're not walking in what you want to walk in. For example, let's talk about consistency. Let's talk about, I'm going to talk about myself. So let's talk about Rachel not showing up today. There are so many levels to that. For one, I would not be okay because of the caliber and the things that I've put on myself. I'm a person who shows up. If that's who I am, then that means that I have to show up, right? It would be incongruent of me to not show up. So dictate and determine, who are you? Like, what kind of person are you? Drop 3 things in the comments that you are, or who you want to be, but you're saying that you are. Okay, because that's me. I'm very patient and I'm consistent. My husband told me this back in 2015 when I went presidential. That's where that came from. I don't know if y'all know that. So my husband did, when I took his account to presidential in 2016. Actually, it's 2016 where it came from. When I took his account to Presidential Diamond, that is where be brave, be patient, be consistent is, because those are the things that he observed in the midst of me pushing to take my account presidential, but then also his account to presidential. And so those are 3 things that, regardless of what my life looks like, I'm reminded that I'm brave, patient, and consistent. And so when I'm not walking in a spirit of patience, or I'm not walking in a spirit of consistency, it's like, get it together. You're brave, patient, and you're consistent. And I have to call into alignment my actions to be in alignment with who I say that I am. So what is it that you are saying that you are? What are 3 things that you are? Drop them in the comments. What are those 3 things? What are the 3 things that you are? What are the three adjectives or whatever? What is it that you are? What are you? What are you? Um, and then take a moment and say, like, am I aligning with these characteristics that I say that I am? Because if I'm very patient and I'm consistent, oh, the patience thing, because I used to tell the team all the time, patience is a virtue that I fail to possess. Like it is. I was telling people straight up, like I do not possess patience. I just don't. Like Jesus fix it. It's not me. But I wanted patience. I wanted to be patient. And that's when he gave me, I mean, godly, I can give y'all story after story where Jesus was like, oh, you're going to learn how to be patient. Like from my infertility journey to the business. I remember being at Presidential for 3.5 years in a season of waiting where everybody else around me was not waiting. It was like, why won't my business go ambassador? Like, I don't understand. I got this humongous team. Like, what is up that I can't go Ambassador Diamond? But God taught me patience and how to serve in the midst of that 3.5 years, where when I actually went Ambassador Diamond, it was not as difficult as what I thought it would be, which is insane. And I had so much peace in the midst of going Ambassador Diamond. And so think about your life and what aspect of your life you're not walking congruently, and what is one thing today you know needs to change so that you can be the person that you need to be in order to build the business that you desire to build.
I guess I could go and answer the question because I've been just trying to sit over here and think about it. And to me, it might seem simple, but for me, I feel like going all in is doing what I said I was gonna do. Like not putting it off, not coming up with like literally just doing what I said I was gonna do. And even with myself, even with my own health journey, I mean, like you say all the time, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so like also that consistency like across the board, consistent with my food, consistent with my working out, consistent with cleaning my room and bathroom and taking my house day, consistent with taking my Sabbath and just doing what I was gonna do. That's what I feel like going all in looks like to me.
That's good. It makes me think of Atomic Habits. If you guys have never read that book, like get it and read it. It'll change your life. You really should only implement one habit at a time, because if not, you will feel so overwhelmed that you'll quit. Changing everything at one time is like going to prison. It is. It's like having all your choices taken away from you. I'm being honest. Like, and we are by nature, we go against some stuff like that. It's and the Bible says get an understanding, and so you want to give yourself time to implement a new goal or a new habit, but then also at the same time allow yourself to be disciplined. So for me personally, once I make up my mind and I understand that this is something that is good for me, I don't allow myself to deviate from it based on my feelings, if that makes sense. So like for example, I mean, just example, juicing. Like now, juicing is a part of our life. Like it just is a part of our life. I have so much knowledge about juicing that it will never not be a part of my life. Period. But that's only because I allowed myself first to implement the practice. I implemented the practice way before I fully understood what was going on. I did not get it, but I trusted what I was a part of. Okay, yeah, I get that. I did not understand it fully, but I trusted the process that I was a part of, and I was committed to the process. I said yes to the process. I said yes, excuse me, to Bella Body. I said yes, I'm gonna be somebody who does a hard reset. So guess what? Week 3, my yes can't go away. You know what I'm saying? Like my yes can't disappear in week 3 just because, bro, this is hard and I'm sick of this and I don't want a large salad at dinner. Like, what is this? I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I tell Rachel, and And on the days that I've decided to eat something, it's just like you're being incongruent with who you said that you would be. Like that, this is a problem right now, Rachel. Like you get it together, but then allowing myself to have that get it together moment and saying that a moment does not mess up my life. You hear that? A moment, and this is for everybody. I don't care what kind of consequences that you have with your moment. A moment, the only way a moment messes up your life is if you allow it to. When you allow the moment to become who you are, that's up to you. That is a choice. That is a choice to take on the ownership of this bad moment. Right? It's me being pissed off at my husband and saying, okay, or doing something ornery or something like that. And then the Holy Spirit saying, okay, and now you're gonna go apologize. And I'm like, but I'm not. And then me having this decision of, am I gonna apologize or am I not? Well, I said to myself that I am this loving, gentle, submitted wife, blah, 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 blah. Well, not apologizing is not congruent with that. So in order for me to be congruent, I have to say, you know what, I'm sorry. Now, sometimes my sorry may be a little sloppy and may be like, oh, I'm sorry. But eventually, the Holy Spirit will deal with me where I can give you know what, I am so sorry. That is not right. Because that is not the kind of wife I want to be to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, I don't want to be that kind of wife in period. It's just not who I am becoming. Like, it's not who I am, right? And it's crazy because somebody asked me about doing a series about unbecoming, and I have been wrestling with it, and maybe God will give it to me eventually. But I like the focus on becoming more than unbecoming. I'm going to be very honest. When you unbecome, that is so much more difficult than becoming who you want to become. Like when you are walking in a place of becoming and understanding who you are, it makes it very clear who you're not. Like, right? So we don't need to focus on the unbecoming. We need to become in this moment. Now, if God give me a different revelation, y'all know I'm here for it. And I will have the series all set up for you guys. But it's like, no, your team is still focusing on becoming. Become the person that you want to be. Another example with Atomic Habits, great book, 5 a.m. Club. When I first read that book, y'all, kid you not, there was a certain point in the book, I started getting up at 5 a.m. and I was not to the end of the book. I was not. But there was something that was said that was that the person that they became being somebody in the 5 a.m. club. Oh my God. I was like, I'm her. I want to be her. God help. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna set this alarm for 4:50. Like, I can't. Like, I want to be this person that's a 5 a.m. That is me. That is Rachel. That's the ideal person, right? And because of that, I began getting up at 5 a.m. Now, when I deterred from that, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, like it did not feel good. It did not feel good. It does not feel good to not get up at 5 a.m. And that sounds nuts. Like that sounds legit nuts, especially for those of y'all who like to sleep in. That sounds berserk. But once you get into that 5 a.m. club and you understand the air that's different at that time, there is nothing like it. I kid you not. If you know what I'm talking about, say something in the comments. But once you get into, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I woke up this morning at 4:38. I had to pee, and everything in me was like, Jesus, I'm about to lay down for these 10 minutes. Okay, Lord have mercy. And I went in there to pee, and the Holy Spirit woke a player up, and I did not want to get back in that bed. And I said, Hallelujah, because if I would have laid back down, it would have been a solid 6:30. Okay, ain't no 10-minute nap, boo. I would have been back out of that, and I was so happy because my 5 a.m. is so beautiful, and so it's the same thing. Are you becoming? Are you allowing yourself the opportunity to become? You may see all these things. Okay, yeah, Rachel said have a house day. Well, guess what? Rachel said have a house day in the midst of your becoming. And if you would have continued to keep habit stacking, you would have been fine. But right now, when you're thinking about all this list of things that you want to do, don't do that to yourself. You can't. You got to take one thing and implement that first, and then stack the habit on top of the habit, if that makes sense. For those of y'all who are just jumping on, the initial question was, what does it look like for you to go all in Or if you went all in, what would it look like? If you went all in, what would it look like? And let me just add this in there. The reason why I'm asking this question is because my all in is not your all in. And I think oftentimes people try to base their all in off of somebody else's all in, or they try to be they allow themselves to be intimidated to a point where they give themselves a cop out. Like you allow, I'm kid you not, like they allow themselves to be intimidated to where they give themselves a cop out. Like I could never do that, so this is not for me. Like, bye. Like no, absolutely not. Like my all in is always going to be different than your all in. Your all in is always going to be different than my all in. It does not matter. All that matters is that you're all in.
That's so true, Rachel. A lot of times we look at somebody else's all in and we think that that's got to be our all in, but my all in and Brittany's all in ain't the same, but make sure that I'm all in. So me showing up and doing the things that I'm supposed to do every day, I'm all in. I'm doing things and um some days it's not I'm like you. I was I need to get back to my 5 a.m. because when I was getting up at 5 a.m., my day just flows so good. It just flows so beautifully. So I'm working myself back to my 5 a.m. and my 5 a.m. Workout because I was going to the gym at 5 a.m. So I and that's where I'm at right now, working myself back into that and getting back on track because it's just something about that refreshing that morning air. So um but yeah, but mine was faithful. I'm faithful to the business. I'm faithful to the things I got to do. I'm patient uh with what's going on, and I'm resilient. I don't give up. I keep going. So I'm just I at this point I'm just gonna keep doing it and I'm waiting on Jesus to come because he's coming.
Uh, uh, kind of know me, Miss Rachel. When my first go around with the morning prayer, being that I'm back at 2 hours behind the majority of you guys, and I'm like, that's all I could keep thinking about. My eyes cross-sided, trying to crawl myself off my pillow. Please, God, please. And lately, I find that I'm actually missing that. Once I even half-heartedly submitted to that idea, um, I was just mentioning on the other platform. That's why I was late getting here on this meeting. Uh, One of the added blessings to my uh, blessing of my new place is that I now have a prayer closet, something that I always been wanting after I saw that movie, The War Room. And you know, yeah, I, I'm 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 feeling that I actually miss that that habit that was slowly coming on to me without me realizing that I was adapting to it, if that makes sense.
I just want to say it definitely is something getting up at 5 a.m. Um, I remember when it was first introduced to me and Rachel was talking about it. She was saying how her kids used to wake her up in the morning. And at that time, my kids was babies. This was 3 years ago, and my kids was babies, and that was how I woke up. Like when my baby started crying in the morning for her bottle, or when my oldest woke up for her breakfast, that's when go downstairs to get a band-aid. Come on, let's go downstairs, get a band-aid. That's how I woke up in the morning. Like that was my alarm clock once I had kids. So when I started the process for 5 a.m., it was definitely something magical to be up before they was. Um, I got everything done. I felt accomplished. And now that I kind of drifted back into my old habits due to me not being consistent, um, sometimes I feel lost. Like sometimes I feel like my day has totally drifted away because by the time I look at the clock, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably just now waking up. And now I have all this other stuff that I need to do on top of my business. So by the time I actually sit down in my chair to do my business, it's probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't wasted majority of the day just because I slept in when I could have got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that is definitely a transition that I have been working on these past few days. And some days I get it. Some days I'm up at 5. Some days I be sitting here sending messages and I go back to sleep. Like it's definitely a process. But one thing that I learned from reading a book and just being under Rachel mentor is that it it's not gonna come without you pushing. So if you want it, go for it because it's gonna come. It's just not gonna be a snap of a finger. You gotta work at it.
That's good. I will tell you guys there's levels to it. And you got to get, first of all, it doesn't necessarily need to be 5 a.m. Let me say that. To each his own. Mm, I had my kids wake up around 6. I had my first one woke up today at 6:01. Second one woke up at 6:29. And um such is life. And then we have 3 who leave the house by 7:30 in the morning. So um you know what your household looks like, you know what time that you have to get your kids up to start moving, you know what time the first person in your household gets up, and you also know what time the world opens, right? And so really, what time does your world open? You should probably get up 2 to 3 hours before your world opens, right? So at least 2 hours before your world opens up, because you're not to have that time alone to get yourself together, like to prepare yourself for the day, to do your hair, to do those things prior to just jumping on your phone. Like your phone shouldn't be your first priority in the morning. You should have that time where you're able to sit there. Like for example, I get up in the morning, it's the first thing I do. I go turn on, after I go in the bathroom and I get myself together, then I go and I turn my fireplace on. I go and I get my water. So like having a routine where I'm not feeling rushed, where I gotta, oh my God, I gotta sit down and have this time on my phone before my family gets up. Like I'm telling you, it even if I did not, and this is something I'm working on, to getting back into my morning power hours because they're effective. But still, before I'm able to do a morning power hour, I would need to do my devotion time, which is imperative to me, and not feel rushed in my devotion time, which is why I choose to get up at the time that I get up, and then also jumping on 5 a.m. prayer with my pastor. And so, um, you have to make a decision on what time that looks like for you. But I promise you, if you get up before your family, your day will go so much better. It really will. It'll flow so much better. Um, so you need to decide what that time actually looks like for you, opposed to um saying it's 5 now. The 5 a.m. club is a real thing. Like that's a real thing, and most people do suggest 5 a.m. across the board. I'm gonna be blatantly honest. So you research wise, so you could look that up. But I'm telling you, your 5 a.m. may be different than my 5 a.m. I have stuck with the 5 a.m. for me, and that's good. So that's actually 4:50 is the time that I get up, so that I'm prepared to start my day at 5 a.m. If that makes sense. So. Yeah, yes, it's long. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it is so good. It is so good. It's very long, but it's very good. It's very good. It's very, it's not dry, like it's a story. So I love the fact that it's as much as it's like high performance habits, but no, it's like a story. It's like high performance habits in a story. So I love the storyline that's along with it. It makes it very easy to read. I mean, I was like eager to read it, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to know what happened next. I might reread it because it was that good. It was that good. It was really good. Yeah. It's the understanding that you are the master of your fate. Are you the captain of your ship? Like, think right now. Like, are you the captain of your ship? Are you the captain? Are you the master of your fate, or are you allowing life to happen to you? And when you are the master of your fate and you're the captain of your ship, you have to make the decisions and you have to boss you around. You are the boss. You have to boss you around. And then that means that you have to make decisions. You have to make a decision about what's important, what's not important. You have to I have to ask Cass. Maybe perhaps that might be a good one. I would like to get the physical book, so that would be good. But yeah, you have to put yourself in a position to where you are commanding. You're commanding. If you find yourself always not being indecisive and you're in decision fatigue, 9 times out of 10 you don't know what you want. So every morning when you get up, you do the 5 things that you're grateful for, write them out. And then write down what do I want and why, and just write. And then the next morning, do the exact same thing. What do I want and why? Just write. Just write. Whatever comes to mind, just write. What do I want and why? And I promise you, you have to allow yourself time for it to evolve because believe it or not, you have walls up to yourself. And that might sound crazy. Like, Rachel, no, I don't. Like, I can see me. No, you can't. I can guarantee you have created walls to yourself. Sometimes I was listening to something yesterday. It talked about like being in this place of survival. And I know what I was listening to, but being in this place of survival. And when you get into a place of survival, you shut down like normal thought patterns. So you're no longer allowing yourself to think. You're literally just surviving. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and we were talking, and I was listening to her, and I was grateful for the permission to just be honest. But I was like, bruh, I hear no faith from you whatsoever. Like, you're speaking no faith. There is not one aspect of faith in what you're saying to me. And the Bible says, the just shall live by faith. We were reading, if you're not reading one chapter of the Bible today with us, with the woman at the well, I'm going to submit that to you guys. Come read one chapter of the Bible a day with us. It's the best business plan that I've ever had in my life. But I'm going to tell you, we were reading something the other day, and I think it was Saturday. We read like John 4 or something, John 5 or something. And it said, y'all, I'm going to have to find it. It said that your flesh, I got to find it because I'm not going to be able to say it right. I can feel it. That was 987. It was 7. It said, Lord have mercy. I gotta find it. But when I got this revelation from what it said about your flesh, I was sitting here like, yo, like that's insane. Um, it was 7. Nope, it was 6. Okay, it was this. It's John 6 and 63. Can we just talk about how John was super long, but it was so good that it wasn't even that long to me? But John 6 and 63 in the Christian Standard Bible, it says, the spirit is the one who gives life. The flesh doesn't help at all. The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and are life. It says the flesh doesn't help at all. I said, well, what? Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. It say the flesh doesn't help at all. I said, at all? It says the spirit is the one who gives life. I'm like, Jesus, help me. How can I live in the spirit? Like, I guess I shouldn't just eat food at all. Like, I need to starve myself every single day. Okay. Like, how do I live? Because if the flesh doesn't help at all, and I am flesh. I am flesh. So I'm not helping at all. When I function by myself, I am not helping my life at all. At all. It says at all. That's what it says. And so when I think about that, I'm like, dang, that's why we weak. Because we allow our flesh, our body, our human body, to guide our life. Like when people start talking about their feelings, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about feelings? Like I feel you, but it does not help at all. It's not helping you. You have to make a decision to go against what your flesh is telling you. So 9 times out of 10, what you're feeling is wrong. But the question is, do you know what the Bible even says so you can walk by that spirit, man? Opposed to walking by what culture tells you, what you see on social media, because all that stuff will feed you. And I promise you, you'll regurgitate it. Believe it or not, you'll regurgitate it. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like, all right, flesh doesn't help me at all. And so how do I put myself in a position to keep pushing and believing and trusting God as I go forward? Well, yeah, I'm going to say, I got something to say again. Let me tell y'all. King James puts it even funnier. Flesh profiteth nothing. It gives you no profit. Come on. That's so good. Yes. King James always come through. Okay. That's the original gangster. It always comes through. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I had somebody, one of my new distributors. I had a month where I signed like 10 just recently. And one of the distributors, she decided that she said that first of all, that is not funny. But she had gave me like a little disclaimer, I guess you could say, and was like if this doesn't work in 30 days, like I'm not gonna do it. And so I'm like, okay, well, you're not gonna do it because that's not how this business works. That's not how this business works. And I'm like, give us a year and it'll change your life. A year, yeah, a year, boo, like a year. Can you commit to anything for a year? So she ended up telling me, I'm gonna drop out. Now let me tell y'all this. She dropped out because of what? The finances. I guarantee you. The finances is the reason she dropped out, which is why a lot of people, they see their first auto shipment email or accidentally it runs because they don't check their email and they get a quitting spirit real fast, okay? Because they ain't got the money. And so that quitting spirit hit and they be like, oh, Jesus, I can't do this no more. I'm the customer service. Can you take me off all of this? Because they got a bill now because they're not building a business. And so it was like, okay, well, you know, all right, I mean, it's up to you. You make that decision. Like she's like, I hope you understand. It's like, it's not really for me to understand. Like, it's for you to understand because this is your business and your life, and this was going to bless your life. And would I've been blessed by helping you? Absolutely. But ultimately speaking, this would have blessed you and your family. You started for you. And so here's the thing that hit me in my gut, and this is what I said back to her. I said, what grieves me is that there are people who were supposed to be blessed because of you. And there are so many people, and my God, every single day validates this. I kid you not. Every conversation I have confirms this. There are so many people who need these freaking products and the space. You can't, I just, whatever. This is my opinion. The space and the products. Period. 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 Okay. And I'm sitting here like my heart is grieved because you didn't understand the value of what God wanted to do through you. not for you, through you. And if you understood the value of what he wanted to do through you, you will inadvertently be blessed because of it. Do you understand that? Like, you will be blessed because of your business, because of what you allow him to do through you. Because guess what? You're being used every single day. If you work a job, you're being used every day. They are using your gifts and your talents for a price. Like, it just is what it is. Every day, essentially, you are stewarding your children, you're stewarding your marriage, you're stewarding friendships. Like, you are in some capacity being used in some way, shape, or fashion. Now, if you're living in the Colossians 3:23, then you're doing it all unto him. And so he's the one that gives the heavenly reward. And so praise God for that. And so, yes, but you're still being used. And so the question is, will you allow this business to be a place where God can do something through you? And so when you think like that, when you call and make messages, you move different because God is doing something through me, not for me. And did y'all see? They extended the tumbler one day. They did that for me. I promise you, they did that for me because I'm like, God, I am making phone calls. I am reaching out. Like, where my freaking tumbler at? I got somebody who said they want wraps, and I'm like, girl, get burned. She like, I want these wraps and the finally I'm like, but what if you just did the wraps and burn this time? And I'm like, dang, Rachel, you just went live rapping. Like, why not do that? So I'm just sitting here like bugging up. But they extended the tumbler one more day, and I believe that was just for me. But either way, I know that as I continue to go forward, God is going to bless me. He doesn't want to leave me out because I am out here helping people. Do y'all know how many people, Black people, are on high blood pressure medication? Do y'all know how many kids and adults and even adolescents have high cholesterol? I didn't even know there was a thing until I met my husband. He had high cholesterol at the age of 6. Why? Because his grandma was giving him bacon every single day. And he could cook his bacon and his eggs and bacon juice. I don't even know, something like that. Because maybe he didn't eat eggs. Either way, they was feeding him bad stuff. And so he had high cholesterol as a kid. Like, straight up. That he had to, I don't know, he can tell his story better than I can. But either way, like, it's people out here who struggle with these kind of things, like, for real. And guess what they do when they go to the doctor? Get put on medication. When you get put on high blood pressure medication, they expect you to never come off of it. That's what they tell you. They tell you you will be on this for the rest of your life. That's what they tell you. I'm not playing. That's exactly what they tell you. I say, I will never be on high blood pressure medication in the name of Jesus. And my grandma and my mom on high blood pressure medication. I'm trying to get them off. So you got to understand the value of what God wants to do through you here. So it's not even about you. Yes, it will bless your life because if you use the products, you will feel better. You will. You would, man, shout out to Miss Sandra. I'm loving how you share your testimony, man. Like, it's so good how you share your testimony. So many of y'all, all y'all share your testimony, but I'm just loving your transformation and what these products are doing for your life. But man, I just had to put that out there. It's through you. It's through you. And once you get that, you move different. You open up your mouth more. You get excited about a tumbler competition. Why? Because now I'm getting incentivized. Like, how fun is that to be incentivized to go out and help 4 people from my community get off of, well, not get off of, but be healthier. We'll just say that. Be healthier.
Listen, I'd be grieved about the same thing, even coming down to people posting, because it's not about you or me. It's about the people that need to see this post that would never see it if you don't put it up. And so understanding, what we have here, the gift in the products, the gift in the business opportunity, like Rachel said, it does make you move different. Like, it makes you show up different when you understand that you're just a vessel that is literally bringing the kingdom to earth. Like, it makes you move different on so many levels when you understand that it's not about you. I tell people all the time, like, yeah, you'll be blessed by the business. Kind of like what Rachel said, you'll be blessed by it, but it's literally not about you. It's about every person that is connected to you that would not hear about this business, would not hear about these products, be able to experience it if it wasn't for your yes. Like literally everybody, and this is how I look at um prospects, potentials, business partners, customers. Nobody is a destination for me. Everybody is a gateway to another set of people that I can bless with this business and with these products. Everybody's a gateway. My distributors, they're gateways to new networks that I would not be able to touch if it was not for them being a part of my team. And so when you look at yourself as a gateway, and you look at everybody else as a gateway, you're not so hung up on, even allowing your feelings to navigate how you move or how you respond, or how lack of responses or whatever make you slow, like could tend to make you slow down in your work. Like that's not even a thing because you understand what you're doing. um and so yeah, this is it's a blessing. And when you can understand that your business, your products is a blessing, never a burden, it just makes you show up different and make you walk different. So
Well, I definitely, one of my neighbors in my new place here confirmed what you said about uh not prejudging those that's in your sight, because we don't know what's behind that curtain of the first appearance. I was hesitant, being honest, I was hesitant about mentioning the business to the people in the immediate building I'm in, because it's mostly elderly people over 64. Because I'm in a building where, and I'm in this building based on the fact that I'm on disability, and the other buildings are family. It took one of the ladies in the building with me to say, you know what? You should have a gathering in the community room. A lot of us would come out just for the fact of getting out of our apartments. I said, okay. I did that, but another resident told me, well, don't give up. Give us a 2 to 3 days notice and we'll be there. So henceforth, I've been duly told, stop prejudging other people because we don't know what's behind what we initially see.
yeah, you never know. You just never know anybody's story. And so you can't assume based on what they, because we all know, posts in social media and even the facade that people would just put on due to pride. You never know what's going on in someone's life with their health or whatever. You could be around a person every single day and never know, the full story. So yeah, Miss Sandra, you can never judge anybody because you never know what someone needs and you never know how you're supposed to bless them.
Good. It's so good. I was listening as I was out. That's good. Um, I think right now I want to ask you, each and every one of you guys, since we kind of know what it looks like to be all in, what does it take for you to be all in? What would it look like to be all in? My question now is, why not you? Why not be all in? Will will you go all in? Will you allow yourself to be the one who puts goals out there that are crazy and insane? Because when you speak things, you're more likely to follow through. And I think the reason why there's no follow through is because you're not putting it out there. You're so afraid of failure that you won't even allow yourself to put put it out there. Like somebody say, put your goals out there. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do my steps. Nobody's like, I'm going to the island. Like, let's go. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't know how many points that is. I know I got to become a better person in order to go to the island, but I'm going to the island. Whoever goes to the island, their team is thriving. Their team is making money. Okay, the Islanders, it's not just about their points. In order to get that many points to go to the island, it's not because they signed 100 customers. It's because their team is promoting. That's how, and personally enrolled at that. That's how they go to the island. So when I say I'm going to the island, what does that mean? That everybody attached to me is winning. My whole team is making money. When you say I'm going to the ranch, that means that you if you're saying I'm going to the ranch and I'm gonna look at you and be like, well, what team? That means that you have to go out and start helping people. That's the only way you're going to the ranch, realistically. The way you're going to the ranch is by your help. You're signing distributors. You're helping people get started in their business. No holds bar. You're not concerned about who thinks about you or what. I tell people on time, it's so funny. Yeah, people be following my husband because he put up, well, he's a basketball coach, and then he, shares our kids all day and his stories and stuff, right? And so they like watching that kind of stuff. And so funny when people, I'll prospect people, but I only add them, like people in my immediate circle, or well, not immediate circle, but I'm gonna say circle as in they're around me, not necessarily in my circle, like people from my kids' school. Like if you follow me, you need to be okay with what I do. Like straight up, like why are we friends? Because I want to make it clear why I'm here. I use my social media. If you want to just follow my family, yeah, go follow my husband, because that's not what I'm here for. I am building a whole business on social media. And so you about to be spammed like crazy about my products, about my team, about my faith, about my fitness, about couponing, because that's one of my 5 now, y'all. And gardening finna get up in there too, gardening too. But especially I love a good hood jam. That's what I call it. Okay, a good coupon up in that mug. I'm trying to see what Target talk about. I love a good hood jam. So that's like my new thing. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about it. It's for me, it's like signing a customer. Like it's like you won, right? Like it's winning to me. So I'm excited about these kind of things, and I'm doing it unapologetically. And so if you don't like it, because you're not going to be awkward with me in person. So if you're going to be awkward with me in person, because I'm the kind of person that's gonna be very clear. Listen, I run a social media business. And when I'm saying I run a social media business, I ain't running one of them cute little social media business. I am passionate about what I do. I am very passionate about what I do. And so if you can't stomach that and you just want to follow somebody fake Instagram, go follow somebody fake Instagram, but it ain't me. It ain't me, because I unapologetically run my business. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like I'm not switching up nothing that I do to make you feel comfortable. I'm just not doing it. I'm not here for the aesthetic. I'm not her. I'm not her. And so I'll be like, go follow my husband so you can see my kids every day up in his stories. But you're gonna see a lot of burn. You don't follow me, bro. Like don't follow. You may get a message asking you to put a post up. Okay, follow my husband, not me, because I'm very clear on what it is that I'm here to do, and I'm unapologetic about what I get to do. But then I'm also open hands, open heart for whoever wants to be a part of what I do. I would love for you to join me, but if you're turned off by those kind of things, you can't be on my page, because it's a no for me, because I protect what God has blessed me with, and I believe that what I have is a blessing. And so I highly suggest some of y'all adopt this. I'm telling you, it will free you. It will free you. It will free you. It will free you. If you have your friends on your social media and that's how y'all keep up, I'm a highly suggest you allow your friendships to be more than superficial, because that is a superficial relationship. I'm gonna be very honest. I do not follow my friends on Facebook, because if I have to know what's going on with you because of Facebook, we're not friends. I'm gonna be very honest. If I have to bye baby, if I have to figure out, I don't do it. I remember I had one of my friends, she was like, you didn't see my post? And I was like, no, I did not. I did not see her post. And she was serious about it. I ain't talking about you, Des, when you talk about baby, but it was somebody else. And it was like, I really didn't see, I really didn't see it. You be on social media all the time for a reason. Like when I get on there, I am on social media for a reason. And if you are not a part of that reason, I am not on there because Dale said earlier, that's how you get a spirit of scrolling. You get a spirit of scrolling. And so instead of scrolling today's social media, you text and be like, girl, how you doing? Send me pictures of the kids. Instead of trying to see pictures that they done posted on Facebook, actually connect with people, right? And so if you only connect with friends and family on social media, stop it. Send them a text message. Call and FaceTime them instead of being connected to them via Facebook. Because for me, my social media is a job. It's a job. And be okay with it being a job now. Like you work from social media. So it is a job. That doesn't mean that people won't see your stuff, because I get people, the customer that I signed yesterday, y'all, or the day before yesterday, she was like, "And how my Zoe girl doing?" And like I told you, I always entertain these things. I was like, "She's doing great." Like, is she, she want to proceed to tell me about how her kid who's in senior year, so I'm getting ready for prom. I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." Now I ain't seen her son, but now she is my customer, so now I got in my mind like her son is graduating from high school, so now I can connect with my customer. And it's Michelle Jones, okay, boom boom, trying to do better at these things, but ultimately, like, that's not what I'm there for. And so when you are living this double life where it's like I got to maintain for friends and family on social media and work my business, it will not work. You will feel all over the place, I'm telling you. So when it comes to sending pictures of your kids, guess what we do? My mom and them, I never expect for them to see pictures of my kids on social media. They get sent the picture. I send that, they actually get sent the picture first, because I don't want to hear about none on Facebook. I want to send them directly the information. When things happen with my kids, the accolades, the everything, I send it to them first, and then I work my business. And so guess what? Posting a picture of Zoe is working my business. Why? Because people like Zoe. And I'm gonna let them keep on liking her. Period. Period. I like Zoe too. And if that's going to bring you to my page and want to support my business that allows me to be at home with her full time, why wouldn't I? Of course I would. Of course, this is a family business. This is what we do together. And so when you have that kind of perspective, it completely changes your life. And so I'm gonna submit to you, some of you guys who are feel held hostage because of my rap customer calling me back, but I'm gonna call her back. Feeling held hostage because of friends and family. Have the conversation and say, "Hey, I work from social media, so I want to bring our relation. Not that I won't see your stuff and say, 'Hey, girl, oh, you look cute,' but ultimately, if we're only connecting on social media, we're not real friends in real life. Like we need to have a connection outside of social media, even if it's not every single day, even if it's maybe once a month or once every quarter. That is so much more special than being held hostage to what you do on social media every single day when you are working. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
That really just spoke to me, Rachel, because I did a clean out of family and friends about a year ago, and I wiped everybody off. But I told everybody, I said, it's not nothing personal. I just need the support for my business, and you all don't support me anymore. So y'all don't put up posters, y'all don't order. My social media is a business. It's not just a leisure for me. And you just spoke to me, and you just made me realize that I might have a few friends that might have added me because they thought it was a leisure. So maybe I need to go and have that conversation with them as well before I just do another delete, because
And
I
and I
it's
don't
a
even
hell
know
of
that you need
a
to delete them unless you need space. It's not really about deleting them. It's really about making it very clear that you can be on my social and follow my friends and my family. That's great. And I may see you on my page every once in a while, but that's not why I'm here. Do you get what I'm saying? Because unless you at 5,000, they don't have to go. A lot of times when you're taking them off, it's because you and your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, my friends and family are still my friends on Facebook, but I don't expect anything from them. Do you know what I'm saying? I have no expectations from them whatsoever. I don't even expect for them to comment on pictures of my kids, because that's not what we're here for. So if we in the family chat and you don't comment on my kids, then we may have something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But on social media, I don't hold them to that expectation. So yeah.
Right. I understand. It's just my account is at 500. So it's like, who do I need to weave out this go round and this season in order for me to reach my goal and for me to be consistent? Because as you said, I shouldn't know things about you just from off social media. It should be a phone call. And normally that's how I find out things. So it's like, maybe if I remove you all, it'll show me what's the next level and who's meant to be in this season with me.
True, perhaps. Yes. Well, guys, we are at 11:02, so I am going to pray us out. Y'all, didn't we enjoy prayer with Cassandra this morning? So